Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. So, happy Sunday, happy May. It is me, Victoria, um, known to some as Coach V, the New Love Strategist with New Thing Life Coaching. And I am popping on here because I wanted to talk to some ladies about their boxes, okay? And just stick with me because I know you might be thinking, okay, what the heck is she talking about now? Y'all already know I love to talk, all right? So that's just what it is. I want to talk about your boxes. And what I mean by that is so from the time that we are all young, from a very young age, each time we learn something new, we would always store it in a box. Now, these are a lot of times, they're like boxes of association. Like a lot of them, they have something to do with each other. And it's like anything that has to do with that thing, we tend to put it in that same box. And a lot of us, we have a box about relationships. We have a box about dating. We have a box about careers. We have a box about love. We have a box about racism. We have a box about, police, like just so many different things. We have all of these different boxes. And it's, of course, keeping in mind that while these things don't necessarily represent who we are, they do represent what we've been told and taught, all right, whether directly or it could even be inadvertently. And a lot of us, and of course, I want to talk about, like love and relationships and stuff like that, because that's what I do. Um, and I realize that a lot of us, just from things that we've heard, things that we've seen, things that we have formulated opinions in our minds in reference to certain things. It's why some of us, we have these things that we believe, like in the men box, all men cheat, all men are the same. All men want sex. No, it is not possible for a man to be faithful. Some of us have in our love box, well, this is what love looks like. Love can be painful. Love can be confusing. True love really doesn't last. Like we have those things in the love box. And then we have the marriage box, even in a marriage, somebody's going to cheat at some point. Like no one can just blah, 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 blah. Like, all marriages, look like this, or marriage really isn't that great because all of these different things, as far as marriages are concerned, even with relationships. It's like after a while, all relationships tend to, no relationship lasts forever. There's no such thing as, a healthy couple. Just all of these different things, again, that we have looked at TV shows, books, magazine, of course, now social media, whatever your environment is, whatever you actually saw as far as mommy and daddy, we have these situations where it's based off of what we did or did not see. We have a lot of children who grow up to be adults and they believe that daddies don't stay. Like it just does not happen because their daddy didn't stay. And then, like they grew up not, and had friends where their friends also did not have their fathers in their lives. So it's like we have all of these things that even if nobody told us that, we have formulated that in our mind, again, based on what someone verbally said, or again, what we have now inadvertently been told and taught. And those things get stored in a box. And we have all of these different boxes all over the place. And all of these boxes are actually known as the storage unit of our unconscious minds, the storage unit of our unconscious mind. And what I try to remind a lot of my VIB ladies is that at the end of the day, all boxes, all boxes, all boxes are replaceable. You can always redo what you've done. You can always rewire what you have connected. You can always relearn what you were told or taught. I think the problem that trips many people up is that boxes, while they are replaceable, they must be replaced. It's not an option. You can't just like you have to replace it, not just remove it. And a lot of us, we then try to just remove, what, let me just take that box completely out. And we don't realize that because we have been stacking things on top of other things and putting things together in certain boxes, like we now don't even realize that we now unconsciously and subconscious, we have a lot of these things connected somehow, where it's like these two boxes are the one that's holding up this box. Like all of these things are whatever. So you cannot just remove a box because if you remove a box, everything else is going to fall apart. And I think the problem is, and especially as it pertains to love, the question ends up happening, What happens when you want to destroy those boxes? Okay, because I'm a Christian dating coach, I'm a Christian life coach, I'm also a relationship coach, but I work with single Christian women. Okay, and a lot of women that finally, by the time they finally get to me, and it's like, hey, I need a coach. Like, I've been wanting to work with you. Like, this is my problem, whatever. A lot of times, what happens is when they come to me, they're realizing, like, yeah, so I'm not, something is not right. I am, repeatedly making these decisions when it comes to men. I do not know why. I don't know why, I keep dealing with these kind of men, or I keep going back to this one man, or I don't know why I'm still single. Like, we work through all of those things, and I love it. And I enjoy it because I get to find out what's in their box. I get to find out, okay, how those things got in their box. Like, because it came from something. Like, all of these, when women come to me, it's because they're saying, like, something needs to change. And of course, they don't know. Like, I got stuff in my boxes. That's just like a little nerdy, whatever, coaching thing. But the question also becomes, what happens when you want to destroy the boxes? What happens when women are like, I want to do something different? My way is not working. Okay. I'm getting this wrong. It's just wrong. It's all completely wrong. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, can you help me? And again, they come because they know that I can help them over time. And I think what's going on with a lot of people right now, we start to learn information that goes against what's been stored in our box. And when you end up having something that doesn't fit in that box, but it's like, it's almost like, like, should it fit? But no. And some people actually know they don't know it should fit. It's like, okay, but that's not what I believe. But I think for them, it's like, okay, but something's still not right. And when you end up having information that doesn't fit, that goes completely against what you saw from mommy and daddy, or just what you picked up on, or because of maybe some of your own habits that are still typically shaped by our household, that's where anxiety starts to come into play. Because it's like, okay, that doesn't fit. That goes against, I know my way isn't working, but I don't know about it happening this way. And, but this is what I've been told about dating. This is what I've been told about men. This is what I've been told about love, about relationships, about marriage, anxiety. A lot of us right now are suffering from anxiety. And a lot of it stems from overthinking, which I don't even, like, as children of God, no. Because anytime you're overthinking, like, if your thoughts are running that wild, like, you're, got to spend a little bit more time with Jesus. Okay. Like, either you trust God or you don't. And if you're overthinking, it's because you're trying to control something. It's because you're concerned about what's going to happen. You're concerned about what's going to happen. The thing is understanding depression, that comes from the past. Frustration, that's like what's going on in the present. Anxiety comes because you're worried about the future. And I think what's more concerning for me as a coach is that I've learned that a lot of women have so many different boxes, and a lot of it's past, present, and future stuff. And it's even things that they're putting in their boxes based on the future, something that has not even happened yet. But it's like all of these different boxes that a lot of women have. They got a box about love, they got a box about men, a box about relationships, a box about sex, a box about marriage, a box about dating, a box about God, a box about their desire. Well, and they got this scripture in this box, and then they got this scripture in this box. Well, then this expert said this. Well, this social media post, well, then the prophet said this, and that was prophesied 3 times. So that 3 of those go inside this box, and they have different information in each of these boxes. And women, a lot of women, not all, are trying to piece something to get, like, they're taking something that they've grabbed, like from this little box over here about men, that probably needs to be replaced. And they're trying to build marriage, or they're trying to build something from something that comes from the box about love. Yet that's why they're driving themselves crazy a little bit. And that's why there's anxiety and confusion, because the two things don't even match. I'm not going to start preaching. The two things don't even match. So it's like they're taking this out this box, they take that out this box. They're trying to build something and it's not working. And there's now this imbalance that is frustrating them in the present time, because, and they still need to find out, okay, well, how, and that's why I love asking, how did that get in that box? How, who told you that? I'm just saying, if you want to do something different, you got to start going through the boxes. Okay. You got to start unpacking these boxes one by one. You need to define what needs to change. And like I've said before, even when I did the quarantine and chill workshop a couple of weeks ago. You have to define what needs to change and do not be vague about it. Define it. What does it mean? What does it mean that this problem is here? What is it going to look like when this actually gets replaced? And you have to decide to replace it. And yes, it will feel unnatural at first. I can absolutely guarantee you it will feel unnatural because something in the unit that you don't recognize and that it's exposed to something that challenges it, you fight it. You're going to fight it. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the more you fight it, subconsciously, you are sabotaging it. Stop holding on to boxes that no longer serve you. Okay? You're never going to look at boxes the same. I'm sorry. And yes, I just wasted a few of your minutes just to let you know. Stop holding on to boxes that no longer serve you. That's all I really wanted to say. And I need you to start at the top, sort through, and start rebuilding. Start at the top, sort through, and begin rebuilding. Listen, if you start at the bottom, the unit will always collapse, all right? The unit will always, if you try to just start right at the bottom, think about it. Like if you actually have all these boxes stacked up again, like what is that? What's that game? Where you pull out the stuff, like you gotta start from a little bit up here because if you like don't really try to go down here because like if there ain't no foundation, it's gonna crumble. Like that's just what's gonna happen. Like even with my VIBs, like I always work backwards with them. They come to me, they have some type of pain, there's some type of issue, there's some type of problem, some type of goal. We have to look at that and then we have to go backwards. Now we define and set goals, yeah, with love or whatever the case might be. Then we have to look at what wasn't working and start going back. We have to start going back. Okay, so, well, why did you allow that? Okay, why did you want him? Well, why did you want to marry him? Okay, well, who told you that's what you deserved? Okay, and what did mommy show you? Okay, and why and what did daddy tell you? And I don't really talk like that in the same song. But I ask them these questions. Like I need to start finding these things out. I had a client recently. I repeated some things back to her, and I told her, okay, so you do this, da 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 da, because your daddy had already told you, blah 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 blah. She's like, no, what? She's like, what are you talking about? I never said that. She's like, I didn't. My daddy never told me that. I was like, oh yeah, he did. Because remember when you mentioned how he, huh? Yeah. So that already set the tone. So now you've taken that with you because of what your daddy and she. I was like, now because of what daddy told you, that's why and when it comes to men, like we have to go through all of these different things. So I like to, like, how did those boxes get packed like that? And not only how did they get packed, how did those things get in there? How did they get packed even in that? Or like each box is so intricate. It's like it really is. Like it's so dumb. Because it's like not only do you now have this box, but then it's like, some boxes are neat and in order. Some boxes you just throw a lot of stuff in there. And then sometimes what I also act like, and how did that box get packed? Like who helped you pack that box? Because somebody helped you put this stuff inside of there. And I think the problem is once we start going through these things, we have to determine, we have to be willing to be honest about who helped us pack those boxes. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't like to, well, I can say at least for women that I've worked with, they don't like doing that. They don't like going through who helped them pack those boxes. I'll say for myself, listen, okay, my mom, it is coming up on, 5 years that my mom passed away. And as I always say, like, even though, I was her baby, youngest of 5 kids, I always say, like, she was my baby, okay? That was my everything. And over time, and I think, it's like, she passed away, and it's like, there's the guilt and whatever, I think with some of the feelings and stuff that I would sometimes feel. And I had to realize it was okay to admit that she was the reason that I had certain things in my boxes. And a lot of people don't like doing that. Loyalty, respect, submission, guilt, all of these different things. I get it, but I had to say, you know what? My mom, God rest her soul. And I can talk about it now, like you cool, like you up there with Jesus, like so I can say whatever I want. I had to be honest and say, this is the reason why certain things were in my box for a long time. That's just what it was. So you have to know that it's okay for you to be honest about what's in your boxes. And then just decide you're going to start changing some things up and you're going to start doing some things different. And I promise you, when you do something enough, it'll become natural. And then more boxes are shifted. And then more boxes you can now get to. And now more boxes you can start ripping off the tape. And it's okay to take your time, literally bit by bit, box by box. But like, okay, how did this tape even get on here? Why did I even think it was okay to seal this box? Who put the tape on this box? And when you open it, I'm like, man, this box is dusty. Well, who put that in that box about love? Well, who put that in that? How did this get here? Well, and why is that? Okay, what? I promise it might sound crazy, but if you're an overthinker like I used to be, you can already visualize your box. You can see it clearly, and you're just like all of these things are. Look, just start unpacking. All right, check this out. I have a special announcement, I guess. Actually, it's not a special announcement. I already announced this. But listen, if you want to destroy and demolish and unpack with other ladies like yourself, I need you in the upcoming group coaching program. All right. New love language. We are less than 30 days away and it will bless your entire life. And we are literally unpacking the boxes one by one and we are rebuilding brick by brick. It's time to change every single thing, all that you thought you knew about love, about men, about dating, about marriage. Kingdom marriages. Now, if you cool, you cool. Um, if you want to operate the way the world does, cool. This isn't for you. I'm talking to ladies who might be saying, like, yeah, I gotta go through these boxes. I want to change. And I want what God says about marriage. And obviously I'm not doing very good in this area. Because I should have been snatched up by now, seeing as how I'm a whole entree out in these streets. And yet all the snacks are getting snatched up. If you're saying, yeah, it's time for me to do something, um, I want you to join me and some other ladies as far as the new love language program. All right. You can, visit the link here that you see, and that's just going to be that. And we're just going to have a fantastic time for 6 weeks going through it all together. And I want you to be a part if you're saying, yeah, my boxes are dusty and I need to get rid of the boxes that no longer are serving me. So do that. But listen, be blessed at the end of the day, whether you come on board or not. I didn't come on here just for the sake of, seeing who wants to hop on board. I did come on here to let you know it's time to start unpacking. It's time to do the work. Um, Deuteronomy 2:3, you have been circling around this mountain long enough, and it's time for you to go up. It's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to say, yeah, that's not going to work anymore. And that's what God is saying to a lot of you. You have been circling around the same place with that same man, with that same type, with that same view. And something I said, I think yesterday, I'm going to end with this. I had even said it yesterday in the Sassy Saturday special. There are some women who they are connected to someone, to a man, that they think is their happily ever after, their gift, their blessing, their whatever. I do not believe that God chooses spouses for everyone. Okay, in some cases, absolutely, we do know that, yes. But it's not even biblical to think that there's always that one person. It's one person he specifically has. But I will say for some ladies, and I said this came to me so strongly, that in some cases, some of you are so connected to one person, and it's almost like I do believe unconsciously and or subconsciously, because there is a difference, that it's not him. It's not him. You want it to be him, and you're trying to make it be him. And that's why you're going through so much turmoil right now. And that God does have somebody who is special and just completely like all that. Okay. But it's almost like he wants to get to you, but he can't because you already are hell bent over this other person. And poor Golly, he's just over there, just like I said yesterday, he's an escrow. He's just sitting there. But God is letting him know, like, yeah, she's not ready. Just, yeah, she's not, just, she ain't. God is saying it to him just like that. She ain't. But it's time to disconnect, all right? Because even some of the stuff in your boxes made you think that this connection right here is okay, but we're going to rewire that. All right, listen, God bless y'all. Have a happy Sunday. Be blessed. Fantastic week. Yeah, stay safe, stay home, eat well, and exercise.